Cycler birthday with the package from China. So let's go. Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. In today's video, we are going to be looking at this very cheap solution when it comes to Chinese handhelds. And yeah, this is actually how I received this freaking thing. It's called the GB300. So when it comes to this model, I already did, let's say, a different video about another model of this, but I just wanted to check out this new revision, or at least they told me that it was like a new model. So when it comes to this particular handheld, this is like the super budget solutions and very fun shoe filler or something to give as a gift. However, is it any good enough to give somebody? That is the question of today. The form factor, what I love about this thing, you can just see that it is very comfortable. It's more like a Game Boy Classic clone thingy, but one of the things I love about it is just the D-pad for to begin with. It is very nice curved and has like an amazing feel. How the inputs are is a completely different story. Throughout the gaming we will find out. Having rubberized selected start, they're already a little bit filthy. Having the A, B, X, Y buttons, they are tiny, but also the feel itself is quite interesting, where this is not like the best feel. You can even see that the second, let's say, the second button over here is moving, so that's not a good thing. It comes with a built-in lithium battery. Let's see if I can open it up. Or is it not like a lithium battery? Let's check out what kind of batteries. Normally they come with lithium batteries. One of the things I love about it, they can replace it. Or like, I would say like fairly easy, but there we go. Okay, one thing is for sure, this is going to be breaking off someday. So in here we're finding the older, let's say, technology batteries, and this is an 800 milliamp. I know you can get yourself different ones, so you can remove it if you want to. You can just buy a separate one, but the quality, I would not expect too much. So the 18650 batteries, 3.7 volts. So they are like very common, but quality wise, yeah, there's always like a guess if it's going to be good enough, but you can replace it. So one of the things I do love about this, okay, so if you're not going to be using it, and that is downside to this battery, I had a couple of them in storage and they started to leak on its own, and that has to do with the quality, but also maybe when it comes to, let's say, the battery itself, and there's a little bit of a downside. At the back we're finding the L and R over here, on and off switch, an AV out, and then USB-C connection. And that's actually it. So it's also called the Sub Plus. Oh yeah. But when it comes to the display, it's not bad. It's not like super bad, but also not an IPS. But that's not what we... I think that's the thing that we can expect for the money. At the front having the LED over here, but it's not too bright. That is going to be shining in your face. But how about the menu itself? Oh yeah, something I don't need to forget. Let's turn the lights on. The toilet paper manual, the deluxe toilet paper, to be honest. This is going to be not like an overall good, let's say, yeah, like an explanation. Maintenance, do not disassemble or change the components of the game. You know, stuff like that. The machine picture is referenced. The case of the machine is based on physical objects. You know, this makes no sense whatsoever. Yeah, so let's get into the menu. Okay, so this is more like a very interesting thing that we have seen before. Okay, so the configuration is kind of interesting. So the D-pad is for navigating through the menu over here. We do have like a screenshot, so that's very convenient. Left or right, we're going to be jumping pages, so we can fairly quickly search through the games. So what do we have? We have Famicom, PC Engine, Super Famicom, Mega Drive, Game Boy Classic and Color, the Advance. Here we can add, I'm guessing here we can actually have like the download for, we can add ourselves new files. We have a favorite list, history, and yep, we have the search. And I must say that it works quite well when it comes to, let's say, navigating. Alright, so let's say the Sonic. Alright, let's go. And you have all kinds of different Sonic games. The downside is you don't see which platform it is. But you know what we're going to be doing? Let's test some games and let's see if it's going to be any good. The system, we can only change the language here. So let's get into the game. Let's start off with some D-pad testing to see if it's any good. Pressing select to start will give you the special menu. In here we can make a quick load and a quick save. I love it to make these tiny screenshots, very convenient. Joystick also can be changed out if you have any problems with the controls. So when it comes to the menu itself, it works very well. I think it's very easy to navigate and everything else. I do wonder if there is an update of this thing. So the first game I wanted to check out is the D-pad. How does it actually work? So if you're going to be searching in or shooting in certain directions, everything seems to be working fine. So I am very pleased when it comes to that. I need to get used to the controls. They also implemented the turbo function on this, so that is absolutely great. And again, if you want to go into the loading and saving state, and it works like a charm. Next up, let's try some PC Engine, and this is a system we don't see very often, so that is kind of cool. Not surprised of the audio quality, how good it sounds through the single, tiny speaker. So the overall performance of the NES part and the PC Engine seems to be just fine. So let's move on to some other systems. And here having the same menu, we can make a quick save. Let's do that. Alright, and let's quit. Next up, let's try a beam up game for the navigation of the D-pad. And that seems to be working just fine. I did hear some minor weird thing going on with the audio, but ooh. We've got some weird glitches going on at the left. So that's quite unfortunate that they mess up. Somehow they always mess up the Super NES part on these devices. So that is quite unfortunate. Ow, ow. But so far, so good. Well, let's see if we can make a quick save. We can do that. Okay, that function also seems to be working. So when it comes to the emulation performance, it's quite disappointing with this model. So let's go with some Sega Genesis or Mega Drive. Very curious how this will actually work. Okay, so the weird thing that they mapped it to the back button, seriously. The audio is not perfectly emulated. Oh yeah, the back button is over here. For the people who didn't know, there isn't one up over here. Emulation performance do feel a little bit clunky. But besides that, but let's listen to the soundtrack itself. No, it sounds a little bit off, but that can also be that we do have only one single speaker in this thing. So I will give this the benefit of the doubt about this, but the emulation of the Sega Genesis is quite okay. Oh man, I've been playing this game so much. You know what's a funny story about this is that I actually found it on a multi-game cartridge. Yep. Where at first I didn't even know how it was called, but Tailgater is such a fun game to play. And so far, emulation seems to be working fine on this. Let's lower the audio. You have the idea, it sounds a little bit off, but that can be me. So when it comes to Game Boy, I think this is going to be a very cool device, and with a simple reason, because you have this very cool game library that you can add to this and just play. The screen itself is good enough, where the aspect ratio, I think, is perfectly for the Game Boy. So when it comes to playing some Game Boy games, yeah, this thing is absolutely perfect. The soundtrack of this game is just amazing. I love to play some racing, particularly rally games, but this is the game with the most epic soundtrack that I remember. Like the intro. That sounds really good, but getting into the car selection screen, that's going to be sounding even better. And for me, like, the music is the soul of the game, and this is why I actually love this game so much. The soundtracks were so cool. where most of the gameplay, in my opinion, is the same, particularly with these generation of racing games, the sound effects. This doesn't, of course, really doesn't sound like it's a Subaru Impreza, but it was a really fun game to play back in the day. Fun fact is that my friend had this. But also, like the Game Boy Color seems to be working just fine. Let's see if the save function works. Let's go over here. Yep, everything seems to be working fine. Whoa, okay, that is not like it's supposed to be. Continue. Okay. Let's load up. Oh, that's just a problem with the screenshot itself it makes. But okay, let's try that again. That was kind of messed up. Yes, I want to override it. No. It's not perfect, as you can see over there. No, it's not perfect at all. Oh yeah, so Game Boy Advance did hear some minor hiccups when it comes to that. But so far, let's get into the game. Yeah, so this is exactly the same shenanigans that we have seen before. I think this is not the best aspect ratio screen for playing Game Boy Advance, but looks okay. But it's quite unfortunate that the Game Boy Advance part doesn't work. Wasn't this not like the same problem like with the game, I think the Super Nintendo controller version, the SF2000? Somebody wonders like who tests these things. It's kind of unfortunate because this completely ruins the overall experience of the device itself. So yeah, this is how it goes with those Chinese devices. Also the reason why I just love to test these things out. I hope this gives you a better idea what this GB300 Plus is all about. I think it's a very cool novelty. It's not very expensive to buy. Of course, we do have limitations, and I mean particular emulation-wise, but also when it comes to hardware. So this comes with a very old school LCD display with a horrible viewing angle. If you're going to be using it in front of you, it's no problem whatsoever. You notice with capturing, it works perfectly. It was absolutely a nightmare recording because I need to play and watch through the camera. That's how bad it is. So if you're going to be playing some old school games, you can see like some of the platforms seems to be working just fine. Yeah, for the money, I think we cannot really complain, but I wish there was going to be an improvement in the future for Super NES and Game Boy Advance. Thank you all for watching, and it would be great to see you in the next video.